have always been here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, geeks and nerds and ambassadors everywhere, and welcome to the Ambassadorial Wing. And hope y'all are having a great Saturday night. It is great to be live with y'all once again. And tonight I have flipped the script just a little bit. Tonight we're going to be doing a ambassadorial R&D reaction discussion. And we're going to be doing the breakdown of the latest episode of Hawkeye, and we're going to talk about some other pop culture news that has come up earlier this week. And want to give a shout out to all my new subscribers. We are at 700 and I believe 760 subs. So thanks. Or actually, I'm flipping my numbers. I'm at 472. Excuse me, 472 subscribers. So we are closing in. We are closing in on 500. We are getting ever so closer to that 500 sub mark, and I appreciate all of the support, and appreciate y'all tuning in each and every week. And tonight, like I said, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to have some good discussion. And as always, I don't do this by myself. I have a great crew of people that join me each and every week. So give a very warm ambassadorial welcome to the one and the only, the master of the Aaron World Order, Aaron himself. Aaron, you're muted. Aaron, you're muted.
Yeah, I muted myself. Okay. Sorry. So what's up, everybody? I did a review on Hawkeye a little bit earlier. It was a short review. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so get this guy to 500. He only needs 28 to go. 500, that's the goal.
We're getting there. We are getting there. And I want to send a shout out to the chat to number one. Who does number two work for? Number one. And of course, Just George, Darren McManus, Darius, it is good to see you, bud. I appreciate you popping in. And yeah, Just George, I'll pop your comment up here real quick. Let's see, just got done watching Homecoming and Far From Home to finish my Spider-Man movie series before No Way Home. I am too pumped up.
Seeing it Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern.
I am going to try and go see it next weekend. It won't be Thursday because I have to work, and work right now is nuts.
I am going to do a short right out of the theater like Capia does. Maybe like a minute or two. And then the next day, a non-spoiler review. And then I'll give it to a few more days, and I'll probably do like a spoiler stream. I want to give people time.
I don't. Well, like I said, I'm gonna probably go Saturday after work maybe and see it. Mammy Bastard's just not. She's doing a lot better physically, but she's just not ready to go to the movies yet. She does want to see Far From or No Way Home, just like me, but she's like, I'm not ready yet. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I understand. So, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna go next. I'm gonna go next weekend. I'm probably, like I said, go Saturday after work. And
if you go there to Excel, for whoever George, just still watch my 2-minute video when I finish the movie.
Yeah, and so George,
I already got the thumbnail prepared. For that for walking out of the theater. But the thing is, when I walk, I'm gonna do it right out of the theater. So I'm gonna use my phone to upload it to YouTube, so I won't have like a thumbnail right away because I have to do it at home, like on my laptop, to edit it, because I can't do it on my phone.
Hey, bud, good to see you.
Yeah.
So, but tonight, like I said, I originally had this stream scheduled for part 2 of my Lord of the Rings review, but I'm actually going to do that tomorrow afternoon. and everything. We're going to do review. We're going to do discussion of Two Towers tomorrow afternoon. And I just wanted to do something a little bit different tonight and everything. And I do want to let you all know I'm going to be also doing. I'm going to do the double hair tomorrow and everything. Being I didn't do anything on Thursday. I am going to do a live stream tomorrow evening over on Twitch. I'm going to do a watch party for a favorite holiday classic of mine, just something just to have some fun, and we're going to be watching Home Alone. So, anybody who wants to join me for that, just give me a shout on social media, and I will shoot you the link. So, and Superior Hero, Cody, but I appreciate you stopping by, and it's always a pleasure. And I miss you, bud, and hopefully we can get together at some point and do something and everything. But you take care of yourself.
So, watch these 2 episodes. I suggest you watch them.
Yeah, we can just jump right into the first topic of the evening, and that is, of course, Hawkeye. And this episode, it was slower at the beginning and the middle, but the ending, whoo.
Yeah, ending was good. See, it wasn't to me, it was a solid episode. Like, I'll just say it's a solid episode. It wasn't the best episode. I think 3 was the best episode in my opinion. But this is still a pretty good episode, like, because it was more of a character development episode. Because we're getting to that point where it's the climax. We only have 2 episodes left. The climax is coming, like, to the show.
Yeah. This was episode 4. We've got 2 more weeks. So, and Ferris Geeks World and Ace Moick, fellas, good to see you both.
Hey guys.
I know not all of you follow me on Twitter, and not all of you are unfortunately in the chat group that I'm in. So give me a moment, and guys, tell me first if you do want to join, or if you're able to join. If you want to join me, I will drop the link in the chat. If you're just popping in to watch and everything, I'll skip on that part. So, but yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed this episode of Hawkeye for the character building, for the relationship building between Kate and Clint. And their dynamic has gotten a lot better, and I love the back and forth between them. I'm his partner. She's not my partner. I'm his partner.
Yeah.
She's not my. I love that part of it. Excuse me. But the thing about this episode that I really appreciated was the conversation that they had during the movie marathon back at the apartment that Clint was staying in, and they're talking about what he's lost and what he's gone through all these years being an Avenger, quote unquote.
What it does to you.
Yeah, exactly. And even before he was an Avenger, just being an assassin, essentially.
He basically told his first mission was to take out Natasha.
Yeah. And he decided he was like, the shot that you don't take oftentimes can have the biggest ramifications.
Yes.
And you can tell even now that choice, or him being there on Vormir with Natasha hanging off the edge, and it's a hard thing for him. It is, and not to mention they actually included that clip. And then, of course, you had that echo of that same moment at the end of this episode where Kate is hanging off the side of the building, because major spoiler for those of you that have not seen this.
Pour up.
If you don't want anything spoiled, heads up now, leave.
Yeah.
Yelena Romanoff makes an appearance in this episode. Natasha's sister from Black Widow. And that for me was like the fact that you have Kate hanging off the side of the building just the same way that Natasha was hanging off the side of that cliff with Clint. Okay, Ace, that's fine, man. So, but honestly, this was a very emotionally packed and emotionally charged episode. And I, for one, I for one was glad of that because the last episode was so action packed. Okay, Marcus, I wasn't aware of that. So thanks for the tip. Appreciate it. So, and Marcus, it is good to see you, bud. Appreciate you popping in. So, but honestly,
Because he's gonna be on the way home. They want him on the big screen. They
yeah,
want to put him on the big
we
screen.
already know that we already know that Charlie
Yeah.
Cox, aka the Daredevil, is going to make an appearance in Spider-Man: No Way Home, thanks to a certain YouTuber who shall go unnamed here. I don't. He did what he did. He knows what he did, and he's going to have to live with what he did.
He's keep doubling down on it, like over and over, like not taking responsibility. It's like
So, but you know, again, with this episode of Hawkeye, the thing that I really enjoyed about it was the realism of it. Because this is the more grounded aspect of the MCU.
yeah.
Now, you do have the little reference to Thanos with the mug that says Thanos was right.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
So, and I was like, it's interesting that they would have a mug like that. So,
yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was actually I'm like, there are people out there that actually thought Thanos was right.
Marcus,
Okay.
Marcus, who's your source? I'm not saying you're wrong, but who's the source?
Yeah, Marcus, with all due respect, if you're getting this from 4chan or something, I'm sorry, I'm not going
BS.
I'm not going to believe anything that's coming out of 4chan.
I think the villain in Guardians 3 is going to be Magnus. Why else have Warlock in it? Like they can't use a Soul Stone. They can't use a Soul Stone, but they're going to find another way to use Magnus and Warlock.
That is true. MCU.
Oh, MCU Direct. Okay, let's see. That could be something.
Okay. I've never even heard of it before, but that doesn't mean anything. I got Ferris's comment here. Still can't believe it. Clint's still suffering. Okay, well, that could be coming from just about anything or anybody. That doesn't even necessarily mean it's directly from Marvel Studios. Even that could be just see some nut job and everything that's just cooking up this stuff and everything as a rumor mill, essentially.
No, yeah, I click on this. I click on this site. There's an article here saying Dwayne Johnson teases Avengers versus the Black Adam fight. I don't know
what.
MCU Direct has a website and a Twitter account. I don't know. There is an article out. I don't know.
Well, I do want to address Ferris's comment here because that's actually what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about a bunch of stuff from a BS website. No offense, Marcus. Here's the thing, Ferris.
I did find the Guardians rumor. I did find. Oh yes, it's from Casey Walsh from GWW.com. Yes, if it's. Yes, it is gonna be. The high evolutionary say.
I've heard of the character. I know who it is. So.
But but it's not Magnus then? It should be Magnus.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, anyway. Marcus, I don't mind you being here, but please quit spamming my chat or I will time you out. Either be involved in the conversation instead of putting all this stuff out there. You want to do it, if you've got Twitter, you got social media, do it there. Don't do it in my chat. I don't want to time you out, but I will do it. So, you may do it elsewhere, but you're not going to do it here. So... but to address Ferris's comment here,
what you should do, Marcus, Marcus, don't spam all the time, but put the link of the source.
So,
like,
still can't. Ferris, here's the thing: if you consider all the years that Clint and Natasha had known each other, and you consider just how close they were. All right, that's it.
So yeah, so Marcus, it's gonna probably yeah, but I'm telling you, Magnus will make an appearance in this movie. I'm telling you, Magnus will appear. I'm confident Magnus will appear.
He very well might.
Oh
So,
yeah,
but here's the thing, Ferris.
Ferris. Yeah,
Considering the years that Clint and Natasha had known each other, considering everything they had gone through working for Shield, considering their backgrounds coming from very dark places, it's not surprising that Clint is still suffering from some form of
yes,
PTS,
yes,
post traumatic
yeah.
stress, because you the thing that you have to realize about these characters is they both feel like they're having to atone for the sins of their past. Um, and George, I will get to your comment here in just a few minutes. I just want to get, I want to give, get my, I want me and Aaron to get our thoughts out to Ferris.
Well,
Ferris's comment.
I mean, it's just look in real life. People when they go to war, when you go to war, you see people you're close with, people in war, suffering or dying. It's it's something you don't get over that quickly, or you may never get over. It's something you're gonna suffer with. That's how it is. It's real. It's just like that. It's it's
Yeah,
realism.
yeah, because the thing
Yes,
is,
Marcus Magnus is the evil version of Warlock. Yes.
yes, yes, he is. He is the dark half or the darker aspect of Adam Warlock's personality. So, but the thing is with Clint still dealing with Natasha's death. That's something that he may very well carry for the rest of his life because they both have quote unquote dirty souls. They have done awful things because they were told to do them, because they were under orders to do them. But at some point along their journeys, they came to realize that they could be something more and they could be something better. And for Clint, it isn't about him being the Hawkeye or being the Ronin. It's just about him doing the right thing. Everything else is secondary. It's about him being a good husband and a good father. It's about him
Yeah. Trying to
trying
move
to
on.
trying to move on from being from being an Avenger, because you get the sense that he does, in a sense, want to move past that and maybe just live
He
a normal
retired
life.
in Civil War.
Yeah,
Like
he
he
had
was
he had
retired.
he had essentially retired. The only reason he came back, Marcus, maybe later, not right now.
Okay.
So, um, but here's the thing. I get the distinct impression that Clint is probably, once this series is over, unless they go into a season two, which they very well could. I will
Yes,
Ace. I
Ace.
know Aaron and George have theirs. I'm gonna get mine. Like I think I mentioned this before you came in, Ace. I'm probably gonna go next weekend after I get off work to see it and everything. Me and Mam Ambassador, we're gonna go see it together at some point, but she's still recovering from her surgery and her being sick and everything, so she's not quite back up to full strength just yet. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna go see. I'm actually ordering my tickets after we're done here later this evening, so I can go see it after work. But yeah, I am definitely excited for No Way Home. I won't lie. I cannot lie. I cannot, to quote a famous president, I cannot tell a lie. So, Marcus, do not push me. Thank you. Well, like I said, she's doing a lot better. It's just a matter of getting her strength back and getting her legs under her again. So, but Ace, I look forward to your review. If you do your review, if you don't do one for your channel, and you want to come on and talk with me, talk about it with me, you know how to get a hold of me, bud. So let's see. I'll bring up Ferris's comment here. I get the feeling with the mentoring and teaching that Clint is doing to Kate, I think by the end, Clint won't be able to continue the mantle of Hawkeye and probably end up going to be with his family. Yeah, Ferris, that's the impression I get to. And you know what? I'm okay with that because here's the thing. At the end of Endgame, all those actors and actresses, they gave their send off. They gave their little signature saying this is the end for me, essentially, or so to speak, for some of them, not for all of them, obviously.
Except Thor. Except Thor.
Except for
Thor's
Thor.
giving me more movies. And yeah. Like
Yeah,
basically
because
Black Widow, Captain America, and Iron Man, you can safely say they're gone. This is his send off possibly for Clint. And the Seahawk maybe send off for a smaller role for Mark Ruffalo's Hawk.
that might be.
Like an MCU.
And that might be. And you know what? If that's the case, cool. You know, I was when I was watching this the other day, I was thinking, is this going to be the end for Clint? This has been at the back of my mind and everything, and seeing him starting to teach her things, teaching her how to infiltrate
He can't
buildings,
keep
how
coming
to.
back out of like retirement. He can't just keep coming back out of retirement, you know?
He's.
Like
I
over
think
and
once
over. This
he
would be like a
gets.
second time. this is the second
Well,
time
here's.
technically he came out like a form of retirement. Like not to the Avengers,
Yeah.
but more of like as a street
Well, I
level
think this.
hero.
Well, here's the thing too. I think this was more out of necessity than anything else. He wants to
Yes,
protect
this is
Kate.
necessary.
But with the whole issue with Civil War and then going into Endgame, it wasn't necessity. It was him coping, and he felt, and him taking on the role as the Ronin. It
He
is.
said, I think the reason he took on the role of Ronan because he said because he did say it to the Yakuza boss, the actor who played Scorpion in the last Mortal Kombat movie. I forget his name, Sonata. I know his last name is here, Sonata. You know the actor I'm talking about, right? He plays in the X. He was in the Wolverine. He said, I think Clint said, "You lived," and they didn't.
Yes,
because basically some of the bad guys didn't. Because the bad guys, well, the bad guys in the world. The blip doesn't determine if you're good or bad. It's just whoever.
Yeah,
that's
it's random.
Saying.
It's completely utterly random, and that's the thing that Clint didn't understand because all he knows is that his family got turned to ash, and
because of this mafia, whatever, we survived.
The Yakuza, the mafia, the mob, whatever it may be called,
tracksuit, whatever,
the tracksuit mafia, whatever it was, he didn't care. They were bad, and he was going to go after them.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to ask you something, Aaron, about Jack Duquesne. Do you think he's dirty? Do you think he's dirty?
Yes.
Now the question is the mother dirty too? Because you remember she made a phone call at the beginning of the episode after Clint leaves.
It's suspicious.
So the question is she connected to Fisk? Is she connected to the Kingpin?
Possibility, yeah. It's that phone call is very suspicious after Clint left, and after the family, they kind of that bonding moment, I guess, with Jack and Kate Bishop's mother and Kate, right? Where it seemed like Kate was actually trying to accept Jack a bit, maybe accept him. Which I don't like because she was smiling, but I think that's more that her seeing her mother happy. It's possible that she has connections to the Kingpin. Possible, and I do think Jack is dirty. I think, like in the he's not his character in the comics is Clint's mentor, and we trains him with the sword and stuff, right? We know that, but that's not gonna be in the movie. That's not gonna be in the series. That's not gonna be in the series. That's been confirmed. He was determined to get Ronan's sword or stuff like that. His sword. I think that whole black market thing was all set up because knew the black because he knew his uncle knew Jack didn't have the money to the razor on the sword. So what happened was that tracksuit mafia, all that thing came in, caused it all that, caused it to crash the auction. In order for when Jack was able to use that as a diversion to get the sword.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it does, and there's been evidence of that. There's been evidence of that because Clint say looking for this company Sloan, and now Sloan has connections with the Attraction Mafia, and Kate Bishop Security. Kazi apparently is employed by Bishop Security.
Exactly. Yeah, and of course you have that scene between Clint and Kazi, and Clint's trying to tell him, "Hey, get your girl off the trail of the Ronin, or she's going to end up dead."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah. That's true.
the fact. Now here's the thing: that fight at the end, I know a lot of people were focusing on the fact that the three female leads were you had Echo, you had Yelena, and you had Kate. Clint was in that fight too. And I will say this: I think Clint can potentially take out Echo. But now we know, however, that there is. Has it been confirmed that there is going to be an Echo series for sure?
Yeah, that's been confirmed. Yes.
Okay.
At the Disney Plus
So
day. Yes.
Okay, so we can reasonably assume that Echo will survive this.
Yeah.
But I think she
It's
may
kinda
give
obvious.
up. But she will give up her. I think she will give up her vendetta of
like in the comics. That's what she does in the comics. She's a visually bad guy in the comics. Then she turns good. I mean, she falls in love with Daredevil. Like Elektra was not one of his. Elektra was one of his love interests. She becomes another love interest for Daredevil. So she does become a good guy. Maya Lopez, Echo.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see that in the Echo series.
Yeah, I have to agree. Well,
Yeah.
the other interesting thing with this episode, something just a cute little thing that Clint shows Kate how to use a small like a quarter or in this case an earring, shows her how to use that to turn off the TV.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that little scene where they're there in the apartment, and she actually, after 2 or 3 tries, she gets it. So, you know what you see I'm talking about, Aaron?
Mm-hmm. I'm just reading the comments, but yeah.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, Ferris, I'll bring your comment back up here. So, before giving Clint a send off, I think he has to face the sins of his past as Ronin.
That's what he's doing with Echo.
It's a wonder that Echo shows up for revenge. She could be working for the Kingpin. That laugh sounded familiar. Yeah, I've watched clips of Daredevil and Punisher. Marcus,
No,
I doubt
that
it.
actress. I'll tell you, the actress who played Daredevil Netflix series has her own sole leading role right now. So right now, no, maybe in the future. I don't know.
Well, the thing I'm interested to see, I'm probably gonna now that Charlie Cox has been confirmed to be not necessarily in No Way Home, but to be the new spy, to be the Daredevil in the MCU.
Yeah.
And since it still is on Netflix, I'm gonna check out Daredevil because I'm definitely intrigued at this point to see what the hubbub around that show was. Because I never watched it because at the time we didn't have Netflix. So, but
first, that laugh in episode 3, that sounded like the actor Vincent D'Onofrio. I'm sorry, that is him.
No. I can't. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I really do, Aaron. I can't disagree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Just listen over and over again. You could tell it's him.
Well, and I've heard Vincent D'Onofrio in other roles laugh before, and he has a somewhat distinctive laugh. But I think he may have modulated it a little bit to sound something a little more gangstery or whatever you want to call it, maybe. So, but honestly, I'll even be interested to see if they have the Daredevil, or not Daredevil, but the Kingpin be referenced in No Way Home.
Marcus, I don't know.
Daredevil and She-Hulk gonna clash. Oh, for heaven's sakes! I don't care about that. I don't care if they bump uglies or whatever. So
If they have a relationship, so be it. Like She-Hulk is known as kind of a promiscuous character. Doesn't she kind of like? I wouldn't say she. I'm gonna be careful. Doesn't she been known to like kind of sleep around at times?
I honestly don't know because I don't know all that much about She-Hulk. I never read the comics. It just didn't interest me. It was a green female version of the Hulk, and honestly, the Hulk
More control.
Yeah, but like I said, the episode itself, it was good. It was solid.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Of course, I'm gonna say we got 2 more weeks, 2 more episodes, or anything, and then this will be wrapped up.
You know what got me was funny. The plan to sneak into the apartment. They didn't know it was Maya Lopez's apartment. They just think the wash was there. But they didn't know it was her apartment at first, and they figured it out. It's just how Kate got it.
Yeah, he's. Oh wait a minute, I meant to highlight. PLK Air Entertainment. Good to see you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hope you're doing well. Felt episode 4 wasn't as good as last week's. Not sure Kingpin will be appearing. We'll have to wait and see PLK. And also shout out to the chat, the CJH. CJ, it's good to see you, bud. Appreciate you popping by. Excuse me. But and I'll bring up Ace's comment here real quick as well. Excuse me. I finally finished my collection of Frank Miller's Daredevil run today with issue 168. She-Hulk did the whole she's no, she's in a comic
the fourth wall thing.
Oh, break the fourth wall. Yeah, I've heard that she's can
doing
do that from time to time.
She's doing that in the show.
Is she really?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do in the show. Yeah.
I still need, I recently got both Deadpool and Deadpool 2 on Blu-ray.
That's such good movies.
Well, I love the first one. The first one was hysterical. I never got a chance to see the second one.
I like the second one.
I've seen clips of it. I've never watched it all the way through. I'm definitely gonna maybe sometime next couple of days I'll sit down and check it out. So, but all things considered, this was another good episode. I honestly I think I enjoyed this one a little bit more than I did episode 3, although I did love episode 3. But all in all, it's a lot of people said, well, it's just Hawkeye. Who's going to care about Hawkeye? Hawkeye has a somewhat loyal fan base, even amongst those that don't.
They set up like all the other MCU characters before they did anything with them. And look, people cared about them. The Guardians, Ant-Man. Look. People didn't really care about Iron Man all that much.
I did to an extent because I did read the comics, but he wasn't like one of my top favorites, obviously.
He wasn't Spider-Man or the X-Men like that.
Yeah, he wasn't. But here's the thing. They got an actor who could play the role competently and did a great job with it. And I will say this. I think Jeremy Renner he's a solid actor too. I mean, he's not a big name, but he's garnered a loyal fan base for his portrayal of Clint Barton, aka.
You know what? I'll tell you this. In MCU, you know how well it did for the comics for Marvel? Very well. It built up his characters like Ant-Man, Guardians, other not so big name MCU characters. Like as comic book fans, we know, but it got actual casuals into Marvel Comics, not just for Spider-Man, X-Men. They got into those other characters that the MCU did a great job of building. That's what DC is struggling with.
Yeah, and that's, don't get me wrong. I am not a DC hater by no means. There are aspects of the DC universe that I do like. There are characters I even like. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that DC has going for it that Marvel is starting to catch up with, particularly with the What If series, is their animated content with the movies and with the TV series. Now, I have heard from some people whose opinion I do hold in high regard, that some of the animated stuff has kind of gone sideways,
It
unfortunately.
has. It's true. It's true.
And
I've seen it. It's
that makes
confirmed.
me that makes me sad, because for the longest time, one of the great strengths of the DCEU was its animated content, its
Oh
movies,
yeah.
and its animated series and everything that we
And
all
if
know and that we all love.
And now that Marvel is starting to go in a direction, I mean, What If is a step forward, but they're having the X-Men revival, the Spider-Man, and possibly other stuff. It's gonna be,
It will
it's
just
making DC, like DC is doing it themselves.
That's the sad thing. Yes. No, I don't want to see DC studios fail. I don't want to see DC films fail. But
You're my.
unfortunately, they keep.
I know a lot of people say this. Oh, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man's gonna make all the money. Yeah, Spider-Man is the money maker of Marvel, but Marvel doesn't just rely on Spider-Man. DC. I know people are saying Superman is the face of DC. That's total BS. Batman is the face of DC. Batman is the face of DC because Batman makes them all the money.
Look, here's the thing. Another
Exactly,
channel that I follow.
CJH. You're right. You're right.
And here's the thing. There's a channel I follow, The Great Council.
Yes,
I like a lot of his takes. Yeah, Lunga, solid guy, knows his stuff. I respect his opinion. And he did a stream the other day. I didn't get a chance to watch it all the way through, but I watched a good chunk of it. And he asked the question, when is there too much Batman? And the truth is, you can reach and overdo on Batman content. You need to be careful, because here's the thing. You're going to have Batman in the Flash movie. You're going to have the Robert Pattinson Batman, and now they're doing all those spin-offs surrounding Pattinson's Batman.
And maybe in the Batgirl movie might have like a little bit of Batman. Who knows?
Yeah. And hey, Alan, good to see you, man. Appreciate you popping in.
And they're having a Batman. They're having kind of that Batman animated show, kind of like revival a little bit. I don't know if it's necessarily the same thing. Yes, Batman is their moneymaker. Like, they struggle. Yeah. Like, they have characters like Superman. But I'll be honest, there's a lot of Superman fans, but a lot of people don't like the change of Superman, especially Man of Steel, which I liked. I didn't mind that Superman, because I don't mind characters changing if they could change. I don't mind that. But a lot of people didn't like that Superman. But people love Batman no matter what. Even if he kills or doesn't kill, they still love Batman. Batman is their money. And Batman might be the coolest DC hero there is. He's my favorite DC hero. But they rely on him so much because they do a bad job. And I thought Wonder Woman 17 was a pathway for making Wonder Woman more legit, like as a branding character. But then 84 came out, that sucked everything, that killed it, and Superman. They never do anything for Superman. All they did for Superman, they had animation projects for Superman, right? They had a lot of them for Superman, Batman. Once in a while, they have for Wonder Woman, but they never have video games for Superman, like Arkham. Like, they never focused on. All they focused on was Batman video games. They never focused on Superman related video games. How many times? You heard it, Ambassador. How many times do we want a Superman game?
I wouldn't mind. I would play it if it was good. If it was good.
Yes. See, that's. I was at a comic book shop. Like, this is years ago. Talking to the owner. All right. I was friends with the owner. Right. Friends with the owner. We talk about the difference between DC and Marvel. DC, if you know, celebrities is A-list and B-list. DC only has 3 A-list celebrities. And that's Batman, Wonder Woman. Marvel used to have a short A-list celebrities, right? Short one too at one point. X-Men and Spider-Man. But what the MCU has done is put almost everybody, not everybody, not I wouldn't say everybody, but almost. I would put Iron Man up there, Captain America, Thor, and even Ant-Man and Guardians into an A-list category. DC hasn't done that.
Well, and here's another character too, and the sad thing is we will not see a continuation with the specific actor as this character. But think about it: one of the more profitable films of Phase 3 of the MCU was Black Panther,
Yeah,
and that I say this as a white person. I thought it was a very well done movie. I thought the acting was good. I thought the story was good.
it's a great movie.
It was just an all around well balanced movie.
Yeah,
But the problem is that DC Studios, or whatever they're DC Films, whatever they're called, they
Warner
are.
Studios. I think it's just Warner. Warner.
It might be that too. But here's the thing: they're too afraid to step out from beyond the bounds of of the known characters to try and do anything different. Now I know they're trying to do a Blue Beetle series or whatever. Okay, fine. But here's the thing: as
That's the
Marvel,
problem. They're going to like lower tier heroes right away. Where Marvel went with, like Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America.
yeah, they weren't the big names,
Yeah,
but they were still characters that a lot of people like. There were fans out there for these characters, and as much as I like RJ and everything, I know he is somewhat of a Blue Beetle fan. Blue Beetle to me is just not that particularly interesting.
He's way down my list.
And that's the thing. Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, they have been a part of the comic book landscape for a very long time. They have a sustained and loyal fan base. I would
Yes.
imagine even in the DC, even for people that like DC comics.
I'll say this. I don't know. I know you don't watch this channel, but on Max's channel on Tuesday, this wasn't anything bad or anything. So he does a mailbag every Tuesday, right? So somebody
I've
asked him
heard
in the
about
mailbag.
that.
Somebody
I've
asked him
heard
in the
about it.
mailbag, if you had to restart the DC, and for the film division, which characters should we start? And so there was only 3 people in the panel, Wea and Joss, right? So they went with like, oh, we should see people that haven't been on the screen, people like Hawkman, Hawkgirl, whatever, people like that, right? And I'm like, I respect your opinions, but if you restart the universe, you have to start with the core of the DC, and that's Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Because if you don't have the core ready, it will not work.
No.
You always have to start with the core. Marvel, I'll say this, Marvel's an exception because they couldn't get the actual Spider-Man, X-Men at the time.
Well,
But
here's
with DC, you have to start with the core. It's different with DC.
and Marcus, that's a fair criticism, but I honestly think there's a lot of diversity within how the MCU
But it
has been
works.
structured.
Why change something that works?
Look, here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna give you all a little bit of an analogy that you may or may not follow, and that's okay. I'll try and give you enough frame of context. When I was going to seminary a few years ago, and I was taking a class on how to write and craft sermons, something that one of my professors taught us, and taught me in particular, was once you learn the formula for how you craft a sermon, then you can go in and tinker with how it's structured and how you lay it out and so on. The same is true with movie making and TV series. Once you understand the structure, then you can go in and play around with it. And you can subvert expectations, even though I hate that phrase, but it's appropriate here. You can take the audience on a different journey. And
you only change something if the formula is not working. Right now, it's working.
Well, but here's the thing: they have their formula, they have their structure, and that's why they can go in and play around with things, make things a little bit different, or anything, or make things drastically different, but still keep that structure. That is the great thing about the Marvel formula. And look, here's the thing: the Marvel formula is pretty much the same as it is for the MCU. It's the same as it is for Marvel Comics. They understood their structure of how the comics worked. They understood how to build interesting characters, how to flesh them out, how to put them in interesting situations, pit them against interesting villains, and then build out from there.
Yes,
The
exactly.
problem, and here's the thing: Kevin Feige, and I heard Jarbo talking about this the other night. Kevin Feige had been working with Marvel for a very long time in their film division. He knew this universe, he knew this world, he knew
He
these
had
characters, and he
he had
figured it out.
he had Endgame Infinity War like all written like years ahead. Like he had that plan all years ahead. Like
Exactly.
from Avengers, from the first Avengers. Well, maybe even no, from the first time we got Captain America because of the Terra sack, right? With Infinity Stone. So he probably got from there the idea of having Thanos and Endgame and Infinity War.
Exactly. Well, look, okay, Marcus, I've heard this argument before, but here's the thing. You're dealing with situations that are inherently absurd. You're dealing with characters that have these outlandish abilities that are dressed in outlandish costumes, and humor is a means by which not only to make it
Dude,
a little more relatable,
I'll tell
but
you something.
also
Thor's depression, the Thor's depression,
Mhm.
that actually happens in real life. People that are depressed act like they're not depressed by how it
covering
is.
it by
Yeah,
covering it with humor. Okay, I will
yeah,
bring up a real life situation with that. Look at Robin Williams. The
yes,
man was one of the greatest comedic minds of his generation, yet he fought depression and anxiety and all sorts of demons all his life. And unfortunately, it ended up taking his life, if memory serves.
yes,
It-
yep.
and that's true. The fact that, oh, Marcus, whatever. Spare me the copycat crap. I don't care.
No, they didn't. They didn't. He had a plan before Zack. He had that plan during the first Captain America movie that came out before Man of Steel with the Terra sack.
You mean the
The
Tesseract?
Civil, the Tesseract, I think Civil War might be copied. I'll say that. But the Endgame, the Thanos stuff, that was planned way before the Man of Steel and BVS.
Yeah.
Because Thanos was in the Avengers at the end.
Yeah, they had that mid credit scene with Thanos and everything
Yeah.
in the aftermath of Loki's defeat. So,
And that movie came out a year and a half before Man of Steel.
and multiverse and everything in DC can literally take that and go anywhere. They have the map, they aren't following it. CJ, yeah,
Um,
that's true. But
and
you know what? At this point,
I can
I
say
don't
Zack
want to.
Snyder could steal. I think I say Zack Snyder stole his ideas from the comics, from the Infinity War in the comics.
Well, for him,
It's, look, they're different
Marcus,
characters. Tony Stark's always
look,
been sarcastic. Tony Stark's always
look,
been sarcastic.
look. Here's the thing. These characters have always been inherently funny.
That's
Superman has a sense of humor. Bruce Wayne has a very different sense of humor, but he has a sense of humor too. There is humor in the DC films. It's just a little bit different. This whole critique about the MCU being too jokey. I'm sorry, but I don't want to sit there and be drugged down and just be miserable the entire runtime of a film. You need humor in a film. It's called good storytelling. Everything doesn't have to be grim and dark and dingy and
no.
just depressing as all hell. No offense to Zack Snyder. I do like his films, but
Look,
not everything has to be his bloody way. And
yeah,
I quite frankly don't even want to say the man's name anymore. I'm so freaking burned out on this whole bullshit. Pardon my French. You know what? Not pardon my French. I'm so sick of this continuing the Snyderverse bullshit. I've had my Lord forgive me. I've had my fucking fill of it.
Man, I'm sorry, but DC has some characters in the comics that are meant to be humor, villains and good guys. Marvel, look at. I'm gonna go characters one by one. Like
Thank you, George.
Captain America could be funny at times, but he's dry humor. Iron Man, his humor is more sarcasm. Thor's humor. Guys, if you know the mythology of Thor, that's kind of his humor.
Yes.
And there's a little bit difference between Thor and an MCU. You know the Fat Thor, criticizing Fat Thor, people were criticizing. That's why he was portrayed as the actual mythology, that he was actually fat. So it's
yeah, George, I have to agree with that, and I'm gonna bring up George's comment here too.
Yeah, Dark Knight trilogy had humor in it. I mean.
And CJ, yeah, right here. If anything, Marvel is more serious than the DC. Marvel Comics is more serious than DC.
Depressing Superman. People do not want depressing Superman.
You know, I don't mind a character's journey from them early on and to the end. Himself. But you know, I will say this. Snyder did have humor in his films. It was different. It was toned differently depending on the film, but Snyder did and always has had humor in his films. Even 300 has humor in it, for heaven's sake.
I mean, all his films has humor. Yeah. Like, you need humor. Like, I mean, Army of the Dead just came out last year.
Army of the Dead was just, there was some.
It was meant to be funny.
Yes,
it's meant to be. I mean, I know some people. I'm sorry, but some people. Maybe Batista looked serious. I'm sorry, but Batista was not good in that role. He wasn't like I can't.
He was okay,
but it was. I'm sorry, but it was meant to be like that. It was meant to.
All right, I'm going to say this. I go to a movie to escape reality, not have reality shoved in my face. I'm going to be 100% blunt with this. I go to the films to escape reality. I go to the movies and watch these shows to escape reality, to forget what's going on in the world around me, not have it shoved in my damn face. That's why people have gone to the cinema and watched TV shows for decades upon end. We go to this week. Now, there are times when it is appropriate to have reality interjected into it. I agree. But not everybody is wired the same bloody way. Not everybody wants hyper realism and realism shoved in your face all the damn time.
I think I told you on a stream like months ago. The problem with DC characters, even Batman, it's hard to relate to them because they're perceived as gods. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. We cannot relate to gods. Humans cannot relate to gods. Where Marvel, yes, there are gods like Thor and stuff like that, but they relate to us more because they're actually more like treated like they're actually like humans. That we can relate to them more.
George, yeah.
Batman, I'll say even Batman, even though he's a hero, we cannot relate to Batman because the guy is rich, wealthy, and has all this stuff to do all this stuff.
Well, not to mention, not all of us were present when our parents were murdered in front of us. Not all of us. Now, granted, some of us have had to deal with the traumatic death of a parent.
Look at Captain America, guys. Captain America and Marvel. Why did he become Captain America? To help stop the Nazis, Hitler, and Hydra. I mean, each soldier that participated in World War II could relate to that because they want to defeat the Nazis. Hydra,
Hydra, yeah.
Iron Man saw what's wrong, what he was doing wrong, and wanted to get rid of his what made him money, what made his company money, what made his father money, weapons, because his enemies were using it.
Yeah, and I'll bring up. I've got Ace's comment up here, and Ace, I can understand where you're coming from with that. I do understand it, but for me, it's not a big sticking point, but I can understand for others that it would be. The only thing about the Marvel humor that annoys me is went from natural humor to poking fun at aspects from the comics, like haha, look at how ridiculous this is. Yeah, I can understand that. I get that. Ace, it isn't everybody's cup of tea. Here's the thing about humor. Humor is one of the most subjective things out there in terms of media and how we interact with each other. One person may find something absolutely hysterical, another person may find it dumb as hell. And I'll bring up PLK's comment here. Exactly, entertainment should be escapism. It's why I love the '80s movies so much. PLK, that's why I started my channel 2 years ago, was to talk about stuff from the '80s. And just to
And
let y'all know,
let me tell you about Batman.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Batman
Okay,
knew the
go ahead.
chant. Batman knew if he woke up Superman, right? Even Snyder, Justice League, he knew what the consequences were. In the comics, Batman would never do that. Batman would not bring people back from the dead. He would respect the dead. Batman would never do that.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Especially with the consequences, because Batman, if you know how Batman thinks if Superman breaks out Superman and he turns evil, it's all over with. Batman in the comics would never do that. That's how Batman really thinks, and that's what Zack Snyder didn't get about Batman, or even Joss Whedon didn't get about Batman. Batman would never think like that. He would say, you know what, Superman, we have to defeat this guy on our own. We cannot bring this guy back from the dead. Like, that's how Batman thinks. And a 1% chance, sorry, but Batman would not think like that.
Maybe not. So, and
he doesn't rely on hope. He does not rely on hope.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that whole thing. Okay, just some transparency.
I like Ben Affleck's Batman, but with Christian Bale's Batman, I know some people have problems with Batman. In my opinion, he played the best Bruce Wayne.
I think honestly, Christian Bale. I covered the Dark Knight trilogy a few months ago and everything. I did a stream on all three and so on. I honestly think Christian Bale's performance, both as Bruce Wayne and the Batman, it had the most layered and the most interesting dynamic of any of the Batman films that we've gotten thus far.
And if you want to talk about realism, that trilogy is realism.
Exactly.
Because that's what Nolan was going for, was to make what a Batman would be like in the actual modern world, like a real world like us.
Sure.
Like,
and that being said, Snyder's universe jumped too far into the future. Yeah, maybe a little. Well, and that's the big thing. DC has invariably been trying to play catch up with Marvel. You don't need to do this. Just do your own thing. Go your own speed, for heaven's sake. I will, like I said, I have been, always will be primarily a Marvel guy. I like Marvel, but I like certain aspects of DC's content as well. And I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to bash the studio and the heads of it and go on some internet lynching campaign to have them hauled out of their positions. I may not agree with everything they do, but at least I'm going to give them a fair shake to see what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I am mentally and physically tired of saying the words Snyderverse, Snyder Cut, or Zack Snyder in general. Now, the next thing the guy does is going to be this thing called Rebel Moon, which is going to be coming out on Netflix in a couple of years.
What's going to happen in a few months? I'll just say this before you get to Rebel Moon, because there's a talk out there that's going to be 2 cuts of the Batman, one possibly with the Joker in it and one without. So if the Batman is not that good, people are going to release the Batman cut.
Whatever.
Did you hear about that? The 2 possible cuts?
I haven't heard about that because I'm just realistically what the
What family relationship?
I honestly don't know. a family relationship in the movie is portrayed unrealistically, it would not
Look,
work.
Bruce Wayne is not the one to form the Justice League. I'm sorry, but he's not the kind of guy who forms the Justice. In every incarnation of the Justice League, he's usually the last guy.
Pretty much. So, but I think we spent enough time on this
Yeah.
particular topic. Why don't we move on to something a little more fun and something a little less comic related? And we got some Star Wars news earlier this week, and I was actually, as a Star Wars fan. Zach, that's entirely up to you. If you want me to send you the link on Twitter, I can. Zach, we're going to be moving on from Hawkeye. I mean, we're also going to be moving on.
You've seen
We're
the
going to be
episode. You
moving
want
on.
to give your take?
Zach, if you want to give your if you want to give your take on the whole Marvel DC dichotomy discussion and everything, I will absolutely send you the link. Just let me know, and I'd be more than happy to. So, but we're actually going to move on to something a little more fun. Okay, give me a minute. Zach, just to let you know, I am going to be moving on to the next topic. We're covering several things tonight. We're not just covering one thing, but I will let you have your say. Absolutely. But we actually got some news, some Star Wars news earlier this week. A couple of interesting little pieces. Nothing huge, but I wanted to at least discuss it a little bit because those of you who know me, one of my big geekdoms is. Oh, and Zach, I just saw your DM on Twitter. I'm going to be doing Lord of the Rings tomorrow afternoon. I decided I wanted to just flip things up a little bit and do my ambassadorial R&D and everything tonight. So just to answer your question now. So, and paste. Okay, Zach, I just sent you the link, so be checking your DMs on Twitter. Send. But yeah, we got a trailer for a brand new game that's going to be coming down the pipe from Quantic Dreams in the near future. And we also got news that they cast the lead for The Acolyte. So, and I have to admit, and I don't think anybody's gotten a copyright on this yet, but usually Disney and Lucasfilm are pretty good about not giving copyrights. So I'm actually going to pull up the trailer. Oh, okay. Well, wait a minute. We'll let Zach give his take, and then we'll move on to the next topic. So, hey, Zach.
Hey, what's up, everybody? So I think, okay, here's my take. This is the quickest take you've heard in your entire life. Hawkeye is a loser character, period. Why do a show on him? Thank you very much.
Fair enough. I respectfully disagree, but I think it's been an interesting series so far.
It might be, but I'm not going to be watching it. You know, I had a discussion on Twitter with a regular of this show, and we both agreed, why not do Fantastic Four as a show instead? That'd be a much better show.
I think they're holding that for a movie.
Oh, okay.
They want Fantastic Four to be a movie, definitely.
And Fantastic Four is probably going to be a movie, most likely. So,
is it one of those things where they're trying to give Jeremy Renner his day in the sun? Is that what's going on?
Well, I think what they're trying to do with Hawkeye is to, what they're trying to do is they're trying to flesh out the street level element of the MCU. Not so much give Jeremy Renner his moment in the sun, because he's had his moments throughout phases 1 through 3 of the MCU as Hawkeye, as Clint Barton. But they're introducing this new character, Kate Bishop, and I've liked her so far. So, and I think they're trying to build out the criminal underworld of the MCU as well. They're introducing different elements like the Kingpin and so on. And
I like Kingpin. Same guy, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah, it's gonna be.
I like Vincent,
They haven't confirmed it, but everything's leaning towards it being D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk as the Kingpin. So, Um, I actually mentioned this before you came in. I'm probably going to go check out the Daredevil series over on Netflix or anything because at the time
Oh, okay.
I wasn't watching any of those series. But since the announcement that Charlie Cox will be the Daredevil for the MCU going forward, I want to see where Feige got his came to that conclusion, came to that decision, because I've heard a lot of good things about the Daredevil series. I've heard some things that weren't particularly good, but I've heard more good that I did bad. So, and I do want to send a shout to the chat, right, Kitty? Right, it is good to see you, my dear, and appreciate you popping in tonight. My thing about this TV show, it's not Hawkeye and his daughter, it's Hawkeye and some random chick. I get that.
Everybody thought the next Hawkeye was gonna be his daughter. Remember that?
Yeah. But here's the thing, and you even see it with how Clint interacts with Kate. He's trying to keep her safe. He's trying to keep her out of the line of fire, where she's wanting to get into the line of fire. And that's why I think they were wiser to go with the that one comic run that RJ has brought up and everything several times for this series. And because Hawkeye would never willingly or purposefully allow his daughter to go into the type of work that he did with the Avengers. So
I have one last thing to say about the
he would let
DC.
anybody.
So you mentioned that you're more of a Marvel man than a DC man, right?
There are aspects of DC I like, but yes, I grew up reading Marvel. Marvel is my wheelhouse. And yeah, Ace. So yeah, go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, well, I would say I agree with you in terms of the cinematic, universes that have been created recently. There's no doubt about it. Marvel is the superior franchise. There's no doubt about it in every way, shape, and form. There's in terms of casting, in terms of the films as a whole, there's no doubt. But I would say if you got somebody in there who could do a good job, that might flip. I think that DC in certain ways has a lot of characters that are really, really good, maybe even more so than Marvel. I'm not a big Superman guy, but I think Batman is like as good as it gets in terms of superheroes. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think if you got somebody in there who actually knew what they were doing, I'm not a Snyder man. I don't like what he's done with it. I'm not a fan of the vision. The Snyder fans, I think, don't really understand that if you step outside the bubble, the general public didn't fucking like the movies. They didn't like them. The general public,
the money talks. Like them.
Money. So yeah, there you go. The money talks. The general public did not like Snyder's vision. So, and I respect anybody can have their opinion. Good for them, and I'm glad that they liked them. Okay, but you guys should check out two movies called Batman: The Long Halloween on HBO. Phenomenal.
Oh, dude,
absolutely gorgeous.
It's one of my all-time. That is one of my all-time favorite Batman comics and everything. Yeah, I actually love. I got the trade. No, I haven't, but I definitely have been wanting to. I just haven't gotten a chance.
Really good, so. Really good.
That's what I've heard.
I think what's happened. Last word on it for me is that they kind of bungled the DCU. Or DCCU.
I think no. You're not alone on that. You're not. You're definitely not alone on that. Hey Ace, I can't remember if I follow you on Twitter or not. So if you can, put your Twitter handle. You know what? I'll just drop the link in the chat. What the hell? Give me a minute, guys.
Marcus, the thing is, the general public is the ones that studios rely on for money for box office. If you don't get the general public, you're not going to do very well in the box office.
Did well with the Snyder cut, but that's having witnessed all the fuck ups that the previous guy. It's
because the other movies suck. General public and the general public and us fans. Batman
v Superman was a piece of shit. The Superman movie sucked. Man of Steel sucked, but the Zack Snyder's Justice League was only really good because I think he had a chance to take a second look at it. Right? It's easier to pull out a winner from a loser. You know what I mean? He got to take a look at the pitfalls that were made and correct them.
General public equals money. If you don't look at the general public seeing your movie, you're not going to make the money. You got to go.
Marcus,
you got to get the
I would
casuals.
say, Marcus,
I'm going
to say this, and this is going to be. I think the general public understands cinema better than a lot of us would give them credit for. The fact is, well, and Roosevelt, no offense, but studios do care about DVD sales because they make money off of those. And they make a crap ton of money off of those. I would say they make almost as much, if not more, off of DVD sales because you can always pump out more DVDs or Blu-rays or 4Ks. I just picked up I picked up a copy of Shang-Chi on 4K today, and everything from work, and yes,
every business has to cater to general public because that's how business grows.
Yes. Look, here's the thing: we, the fan base, are the target demographic. True.
Yeah.
But we also are part of the marketing scheme for how the general public will interact with a particular franchise. Now, I will say this, and I'm kind of sad. If it makes me, I was kind of disappointed that Eternals didn't do as well as it did. But here's the thing also. I understand that it's a very obscure franchise within the Marvel Universe. I understand it's a rather obscure team within the Marvel Universe. So there wasn't going to be as much hype behind it. But I will say this. I have talked to a lot of people. Some people say they hated Eternals. They think it sucks. I have talked to people who felt the way I did. They enjoyed it. So, and I do want to give a, you guys don't understand BVS.
The MCU has it all almost in every movie. The MCU has like that political stuff in almost every movie.
Marcus, the MCU does the same damn thing, but they do.
What do you think Civil War is based off? And what do you think like Thanos' end goal was? Like a lot of stuff in MCU is that.
So, hey Ace, how you doing, bud?
I'm good, man. How you doing? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're coming in fine, man.
Sweet. And I just wanted to say to, I think it was AO who just said about the whole Civil War thing. Yeah, Civil War, as someone who read the storyline, just the actual miniseries, none of the tie-in books, I think the movie was a lot better than the comic itself. However, there's a fair amount of criticism saying like, oh, why the comic's better and so on and so forth, because I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Ace.
You like the comics? I think you said you like the comics a lot better, right? Or something along the lines of that?
I said the movie I thought was better than the comic. The comic I did not care for because I thought it was like if I was just reading the main trade paperback, which is what I did, it didn't include the tie-in books, so there's a lot of context loss and development that took place in the trade paperback. So I thought the movie established it much better by keeping it smaller scale, by keeping it so it was just, the Avengers, whereas in the comic it had affected the Avengers, it affected the Fantastic Four, and it was a much bigger universe in the comics. So the movie I thought kept it more low key and also had the overarching story. I mean, not overarching story. The other threat was, Zemo. And honestly, I think Zemo's like a better villain than Thanos because Zemo actually succeeded in the long term. He broke up the Avengers.
Yes, I agree there.
Oh, I don't like that guy at all. You're talking about Baron Zemo?
Yes.
Ugh.
I'm saying in the movie. I'm not talking about in the show.
I'm just saying, period. I hate that character.
That's fair enough.
Not every character is going to resonate with everybody.
Zach, I haven't read enough of the Captain America comics to know Zemo from the comics. I know in the comics, he is a Nazi.
You want to know? Yeah. You want to know who Baron Zemo is in the comics? He's essentially a guy who got a mask glued to his face, and he's super smart. That's his backstory, essentially. Here's the thing. Essentially, Thanos succeeded in his mission in Infinity War. He wiped out wiped out half of existence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but my point is like Zemo's lasted a little bit more long term. Like the Avengers couldn't even really come together until Endgame after they had already lost to Thanos.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's the whole point.
He's a throwaway character. He's a throwaway character, like the Robert Redford character in
the
Captain
Senator.
America 2. Well, not the Senator, the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. guy. Alexander Pierce. And
valid point.
Yeah.
I think Sam Jackson shoots him at the end, right? That guy.
Sam Jackson kills him, yes.
Yeah. These are throwaway villains, so was like the elf from Thor.
The real villain of
or two.
The real villain of Captain America 2 Winter Soldier was the I forget his name. Was the guy who set everything up when Captain America and Black Widow were in that secret laboratory with the guy himself into
the scientist from the first movie. Zola.
That's the real villain. That's the real villain. Yeah, Zola. He's the real villain of that movie.
No, he's like got one scene.
Yeah, but he's the one who set everything up. How he's the reason why Hydra kind of infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff. He's kind of the reason all that stuff happened. I would say
the main villain is definitely the Winter Soldier. No doubt about it.
He's the main henchman, the main threat, like active threat.
Well, he's a bad motherfucker. Yes. That makes him the main villain.
Yes.
Right?
Well, he is a villain, but he's not the villain.
Well, who's the villain? Is it Vader?
It's like it's like saying Vader's the main villain when it's really the Emperor.
I think you could say that. Who has the most screen time?
At this point, we're arguing semantics.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was I don't know.
Go ahead, Ace.
No, I was trying to remember something I was going to say earlier, but I think it'd be backpedaling to the whole humor thing, and we're past that, so I don't want to bring it back up. And I already gave my 2 cents on it.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. So, the other thing there was a couple of things I wanted to talk about, and Zach, if you don't want to stick around for this, that's fine. We got some Star Wars news. It's not a whole bunch, but you all know me. I'm a Star Wars nut. If it's Star Wars, I generally will cover it. And we got the new trailer for the game that's going to be set in the High Republic era. And we got some news about the Eclipse. And so
Acolyte, yes. Acolyte.
No, Zach, I'm not trying to kick you out, and you can speak. You don't have to put stuff in the private.
Hey, listen. I'm one of those guys. Listen, dude, I would not be offended if you were trying to kick me out at all. Trust me.
You want to stick around? Stick around. If you don't want to, you don't have.
You think I hate Star Wars or something? I
don't
hate Star Wars.
But the last Star Wars trailer that I showed, you absolutely hated.
Oh, you mean Visions? Yeah, Visions.
Yeah, so Visions was not that great.
I enjoyed it. There were episodes of Visions that I did like. There were episodes that were kind of
Ambassadorial.
Yeah, I thought.
I thought there's come back for your review. Of it?
I liked 2 episodes. The others were okay, or just there's probably like 1 episode I thought, okay, this is pretty bad. But there was 2 episodes I liked. 1 bad one, rest Sorry.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Right, kitty. Okay, it's a cool
what is that noise, guys?
It's a phone, I think.
Yeah, it's my phone in the background. I have it charging. Sorry. Let me put it on mute.
It's okay, Ace. No worries.
Yeah, it's the communicator sound effect from Power Rangers. It might be a little... I'm showing my age. I'm a baby compared to the rest of y'all. You don't like that?
Bad. Power Rangers is a cheap knockoff of a superior show called Voltron.
Well, it's not a knockoff because in Japan, Power Rangers was a show called Super Sentai series that goes all the way back to the mid 70s. So you said Voltron. Voltron came out in the 80s, I believe. So in a sense, Power Rangers predates Voltron, but in Japan at least. And then the creators of Power Rangers. Yeah,
I stand by my comment.
Fair enough. And actually, if for anyone that's watching that might be my age that want to watch the original Super Sentai series but don't want to pirate it and don't want to pay subscription or DVDs, download Tubi. If you have a PlayStation 4, you can download on there, TUBI, and you can watch the Super Sentai on there, like the original Japanese stuff, and it's already subtitled. I recently watched the Time Ranger one, which became the basis for Power Rangers Time Force. Like, it's a completely different type of show from Power Rangers. Like, Power Rangers is much more camp, I'd say, because, it's for kids. Super Sentai seems to kind of, like, keep it not too tongue-in-cheek. They'll have silly moments, but they'll keep it a little bit more like, oh, this is an immediate threat, like people can actually die sort of thing. But not, super serious.
Right. So, all right. Hang on just a minute, because I need
Sorry for the rant.
to unmute this. No, it's okay, dude. You're fine. And I'm going to put this all down below so everybody can see it and it's as it should be. All right. For those of you who haven't seen this or may not have heard about it and everything, this is the trailer, the cinematic trailer, the teaser trailer for the new Star Wars game called Eclipse. So, anyway, all right, here we go. It's only 2.5 minutes. Well, 2 minutes 50 seconds. So, a little over 2.5 minutes.
I hope the video doesn't get flagged for copyright if there's some John Williams score in this.
There have been other people who have run it. As far as I know, nobody's had any problems. And if I have an issue, I can always go in and they give you the opportunity to fix it.
You don't have the volume on, so you might be fine.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, no, you do. I think you might be fine. I think in game trailers, I'm not 100% sure.
Game trailers are usually not as stitchy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Looks like the logo for Heroes and Dune.
That last shot of the guy rising from the stuff, I almost heard the Lord of the Rings soundtrack in my head.
Now, refresh my memory. Doesn't the High Republic take place about 400 or 500 years before the prequels?
Yeah, the High Republic takes place roughly 400 or 500 years or 200 years before the prequels does. Hang on one second. Okay, I'm back over here.
It looked like it went between eras, though. Why are there Trade Federation ships?
That's why I was asking. I could see that there's some subtle differences, but I think since it's a couple hundred years instead of thousands of years, I'll let it slide.
Yeah, it's a few. Well, here's the thing, Zach. the Trade Federation was a entity that did exist, and they probably their ships. Those were probably earlier model ships than what we would see in like the prequel series. So you think about the progression of technology, there might be some alteration and some update, but the basic design would not be terribly different. As the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So,
I wonder if
Or
they
even
have droids, battle droids.
of course, I'll battle droids.
Maybe. We don't know for sure. Now, if you notice the design of that one protocol droid, it is somewhat reminiscent of 3PO's design from the prequels.
In the first one, yeah.
Yeah, in the first one especially. Now, I'm going to ask you all this, and y'all may not have a frame of reference, but when they were showing that one army marching, did anybody get any, like, Warhammer 40K vibe from that?
Never played Warhammer, so I have no comment.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Okay, that's
all right. No, that's okay. But, obviously it's a teaser trailer for a video game that's going to be taking place in the High Republic era. That's what all the promotional material has said. I have the impression that this is going to be dealing with some sort of threat that's going to be threatening the entire galaxy, not just particularly either just the Republic or the Jedi. I think this is going to be something that's going to be a threat to everybody, quite literally. So, and yeah, that creature, whatever it is that was rising, Zach.
I don't know.
Zach, you could have put that in the public chat. That's actually funny. For those of you who are wondering, Mr. Leary made the comment in the private chat, will Geo the Rock be a playable character?
I remember making fun of that. So it says, no, there's more to Geo the Rock than that. I think really there's something more to a rock than being a rock. I kid, of course.
The trailer looks good, though. I think it looks good.
Yeah.
What matters is it going to be, it should be open world. I mean, that's really what it should be. That's the best way.
Well, Quantic Dream is the studio that's doing the game. Now, I know there has been some controversy around the studio head or whatever it is. Personally, I'm just more interested in how they do their games. Now,
what games have they done?
Well, the one that I am aware of that I played personally was called Indigo Prophecy. It was for the original Xbox, if I recall. And I know that they did one called, what was it called? Heavy Rain or something like that.
Yes, Heavy Rain. Yes, I know that game.
They've done some really interesting games. Now, I do agree. I think that Eclipse should be an open world game. I have a feeling it probably will be because you're dealing with a era like the High Republic, which
don't make it Heavy Rain.
I hope not, but I hope it's an open world RPG. That's kind of the gist. That's kind of the overall impression from this trailer. Detroit became human.
They made Detroit become human?
I don't know.
Never heard. I've heard of that game. I've heard of Detroit, but I've never actually played it. So
these games are kind of hit or miss. I mean, the Fallen Order game was phenomenal. I thought it was really, really good.
Yes, Cloud Dream did make it.
Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah, Jedi really Fallen Order was very good.
I think that's partly because it wasn't developed by EA themselves. It was a different developer under their wing. So I wonder if this game will have a good chance, because it's a completely different developer. And whether or not, I mean, regardless of what one may think about the High Republic, I've never read any of the books or the comics. The concept, when I heard some of the stuff from the trailers, I thought, okay, this doesn't interest me. But the trailer for the game, okay, I might play it. Might is the word.
I just mad at EA for screwing up a Battlefront, how bad Battlefront was.
Which one?
The first one was terrible.
Yeah, I was.
Okay. I liked it. I liked
Yeah,
the mode.
you paid full price for half a game.
I know. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well,
Battlefront 2 was great though. After they fixed it.
Yes.
Yeah, after a lot of work.
It was like a 50
Yeah,
season pass.
Yeah, I didn't start
What the
playing
hell?
until 2019 or something, late
I'm one of the
2019.
few people who has gone back since Battlefront 2 has come out just to play the first one. I've gone back to play the first Battlefront. I actually really like the Heroes and Villains game mode quite a bit. But what I was saying is you've got Fallen Order, which was phenomenal, and then you have this piece of shit Starship game. What was it called?
Squadrons.
Horrible.
I got a freebie of it on PlayStation Plus. I've yet to play it.
They have to give it out for free. I got it for free too.
It's okay.
Yeah. My friend Matthias said it's okay, and I thought, I'll give it a chance, but he's a little more open-minded, I guess you could say.
It wasn't expensive. I bought it, but it wasn't like a typical $60, $70 game. It was actually like cheaper.
It was $35 is what it was. So, and I've got Ryan Kitty's comment up here. I wonder if Eclipse will be a choose your narrative kind of game. Pick a sides, play through.
I heard a rumor that. I heard this might be.
Maybe not. But here's the thing: they've already done that, and they've done that numerous times, going all the way back.
I mean, from Heavy Rain
to KOTOR.
Yeah,
they can use the decision making from Heavy Rain. They can use the decision making from Heavy Rain per this game, but not like. But you could still do the gameplay like typical gameplay like an action RPG, where Heavy Rain is just all it is decision making basically.
Well, Indigo Prophecy. Go ahead, Zach.
Okay. Oh, well, I was just gonna say I'm pleased to report Halo Infinite campaign is fucking awesome.
I know.
That's what I've heard, but I will never get the chance to play it.
Thank God. Why? You're PS4 guy? PS5?
I'm a PlayStation period guy because. Well, no. Here's the thing. I'll tell this real quick. Yeah. I had a Gen 1 Xbox, loved it. Yep. I had an Xbox 360. It died 4 times. I'm like, to hell with this piece of crap console.
4 times, like the death, Red Ring of Death.
Yes, and that was after
4
getting
times.
It fixed. I have 4 times of it going red ring, me seeing it in to be fixed, and then coming back, going for a little bit longer, and then I was like, nope, I'm done with Microsoft for their gaming consoles. I am done.
Okay,
I have nothing past an original Xbox.
This might be offensive to you, Ambassador, but I sold my PS4 to buy an Xbox One.
No, that's not offensive. Why would it be?
Everybody told me I was making a huge mistake.
Well, you got Game Pass. I mean, like
it does, yeah.
It's like Game Pass. Kills anything Sony has with their online service.
You do you bud.
I did play Shadowfall on PS4, which I actually really liked. The newest one.
I'm actually playing my PS4 right now as we speak.
Well, here's the thing. Between myself and Mam Ambassador, we have a PS1 through PS4, and they all still work. She had a PS1. She had a PS1.
Works. You got a bad one, dude. You got a dud console.
Which one?
Your 360.
Oh, the Xbox 360.
Yeah, you got a dud one. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I will never go back because. Okay, here's the other thing too. The games that they have for the Xbox just don't interest me. Aside from maybe Halo, they have not released a single title that I've even had the remotest amount of interest in. Now, the only thing that kills me is the fact that the KOTOR remake is going to be an Xbox exclusive.
See,
what?
We're starting to get
you dirty sons.
Yeah.
This will be one of those streams where I cuss I cuss a bit. But I'm like, you dirty
we
sons
got
of
that
bitches.
on you, don't we? We got the KOTOR and we got Halo. But see, the thing is we've only had Halo since like the inception of Xbox. That's all we've really had over you guys. But I'm pleased to hear that now we're going to have the new KOTOR. That's pretty good.
There was a couple exclusive to Xbox games within the Star Wars series. I mean, you had Republic Commando. You had both Star Wars Knights of the Republic games.
What about the Telltale games? I think those are those PlayStation?
Yeah, I believe those were PlayStation.
Yeah, the Telltale games, most of
the Telltale games.
PlayStation 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And they're pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah, the Batman one was awesome, dude. Batman and Game of Thrones one was pretty good.
I still have to play the second Batman one.
Really fucking good. Batman ones
Yeah.
were awesome.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And Ambassador, I was gonna say the KOTOR remake being exclusive to Xbox might be a blessing in disguise because suppose from what I understand, the person who's going to be one of the developers of the KOTOR game wasn't someone who was even a fan of the original. I thought, like, what do you think would be a good way to? I mean, a good stepping stone for this remake. Bring back one of the original developers, like the guy who wrote the story, Drew Karpyshyn, who was the creator of Revan and also the writer of the Darth Bane trilogy.
I think that would be a good idea. Yeah.
Yep, that's what they're doing. They're bringing in someone completely different. And when I first heard the announcement, they included a bunch of pictures of this person's tweets on Twitter. It's not the type of person that you want to have in charge of this game. I'm for anyone that's watching, I'm not someone who throws around the words virtue signaling or SJW commonly, but that's the type of person who might be in charge of the story and development of the game.
Well,
but I could be wrong. For all I know, I might just be reading too much into it, and it might turn out, oh, this game's actually pretty good.
Here's the thing: I don't put a whole lot of stock in that sort of stuff. To be honest with you, Ace, some people do. That's their prerogative. But I go off of what a person creates, not what a person says on social media to appease a certain percentage of the Twitterverse. I don't care. I really don't.
No, that's fair. Like my whole thing behind it is supposedly they weren't even a fan of the original. I mean, if it's someone who's a fan of the original, then I can get behind them and say, okay, if they like the original game, they have respect for it, they want to make sure that we get something that is good and does its best to not necessarily just copy verbatim, but play the same rhythm, not necessarily the same notes, but the same rhythm.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
No, it does. Yeah, totally. So, well, Beans, were kind of on the topic of video gaming and everything. We also got a neat little trailer for Sonic 2 and everything. Came out earlier or late this week, and I wouldn't mind getting y'all's thoughts on this if y'all are interested in checking it out.
Play it for us.
So I don't know how.
Take a look at it.
Huh? Okay.
You might get hit for this trailer though.
If I do, I'll remove it once I end the stream. So if I get a copyright claim, I've gotten them before. It's not a huge thing on me. I'll just remove it after the fact, and we'll move on from there. So
the last Sonic the Hedgehog game I played was the original on a jailbroken PSP that with emulators on it.
I haven't played a Sonic game in a long time. I think the last one I played was Sonic Racing. That was like years ago. Right? How old is that fucking game?
Very, very old.
That's an
very,
old one,
very
right?
old.
That's like over 10 years old or something. Sonic Racing.
Just a minute, guys.
Did you guys ever play Sonic Tennis?
I cannot say that I did. The last Sonic game I played was actually Sonic Pinball for the Actually, no, the last Sonic game I played was Sonic 3D for the Sega Genesis. I miss my Sega Genesis.
I actually like Sonic Tennis, to be honest with you. I got it for like $3 at the GameStop bin.
All right, hang on. Let me make sure it's up here. It is. Okay, let's move everybody down here to the bottom. Almost like Mystery Science Theater 3000, except this is something good. So, anyway, all right. Doom, here we go. There we go.
Quick stretch, little snack, and here we go.
Oh, movie. I was thinking the game. Never mind. I feel stupid.
Oh, it's okay.
Are you being reckless? Don't worry, nobody's gonna Pretending to be Batman, Blue Justice, trademark pending.
You're still just a kid.
Woohoo!
Trust me, there will come a moment when your powers will be needed. But you don't choose that moment. That moment chooses you.
I just got goosebumps. Wait a second, did you steal that from Oprah?
Can I just say I really like James Marsden in this role. I liked him in the first movie, but I'm liking him even more now. And it's been a long time since I've seen him in anything. Since X-Men. Man, he got
Same.
X-Men the
Well,
last
X-Men or Superman Returns, either or.
I have repressed all knowledge of Superman Returns.
I like Superman Returns better than Man of Steel any day of the week. I'd rather watch it.
I'm actually in agreement.
Fair enough. So anyway, all right.
I like Lex. Lex Luthor wasn't bad.
I agree.
These
Papa's got a brand new stash.
Oh Jesus!
Since I've been gone, I've discovered
Jim!
a source of ultimate power.
That sounds good. It's been on my vision board for years.
Hope I'm not too late.
I'm sorry.
Ah!
Name's Tails.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Step 1, light taunting.
Ace, do we have a problem?
No, I just thought, oh man, they're bringing in Tails. He's gonna get roasted by people who hate him because, I don't got a problem with him myself. It's just I know there's some people that got a huge bias against Tails.
I don't have a problem with Tails. I never did. But if you think that's interesting, wait to see who else they introduce.
Of course you're going to bring in
shut up.
Tails.
Step 2, I have no idea. That wasn't too bad.
You were saying?
Today's forecast calls for a 100% chance of adventure. Return to sender. Face it, you're never going to get my power.
Oh,
Like I need your power.
Knuckles. OP.
Where are my manners? Sonic, meet Knuckles.
Sure.
The sad part is I've still not seen the first one, although I should have because I was never really a Sonic fan growing up because I was a Nintendo kid. I played Mario on an original NES, but you would think I would have seen the first one just because it has Jim Carrey. When I was a kid, Jim Carrey was my idol. I wanted to be Jim Carrey.
Same.
You know what? For me, personally speaking, okay, Jim Carrey should get in touch with the military and the Pentagon because I think this guy is just torturous, man. I can't stand Jim Carrey for whatever reason. He drives me fucking crazy seeing this guy.
Actually,
Dude, he's too much.
You sound like my grandma or my mom. My mom. Well, I don't think my mom said that about Jim Carrey. My mom said that about Robin Williams. Like, she just can't really get behind his humor, or because he's always on or whatever. And that's.
Well, it's like every movie he's just this psychopath, right?
Yeah, but he does it so well.
Yeah.
And shout out to Josh Bowen. Josh, good to see you, man. Knuckles, my man. Hell yeah, man.
And if you don't mind my saying, if anyone wants some degenerate Sonic related stuff, look up my friend Wolfblade 1992's channel and look up his channel and Sonic Transformation. I'm sorry, I just feel obligated to give a shout out to my friend's channel to help him reach whatever subscriber thing he's trying to go to. Although the guys I'm talking to in the video, don't watch it, please. Oh God, I think I've piqued curiosity for some people.
Yeah, I'll reserve my judgment on the trailer. Okay,
Zach, I understand you don't
Jim
like
Carrey
Jim Carrey.
drives
It's cool,
me
dude.
fucking crazy.
It's cool.
Yeah.
You don't like
Alrighty
Jim Carrey,
then.
it's not gonna hurt my feelings. It's not going to hurt anybody's feelings that you,
You know
don't
what,
like
dude?
Jim Carrey.
He did actually a decent movie, or a couple decent ones. Have you seen The Number 23?
I've heard of it, never seen it.
Not bad.
Same. Like, Jim actually has more range than people give him credit for. Like Truman Show, obviously.
Oh, Tim and Truman
Truman
Show.
Show's
That's a
pretty
great
good.
one.
Yeah.
Truman was, I think, one of his better ones. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a nice blend of his humor, but also him doing a dramatic role. There's one of his I've always been interested to see, but I've never gotten around to, and that's The Majestic.
Oh, yeah. I have seen that. Really, really good.
Is it really? I've heard good things about it. I've heard a lot of good things.
It's Frank Darabont, same guy who directed Shawshank Redemption.
Oh,
and Green Mile. Yeah.
And also, didn't Darabont do The Mist?
He did. Yeah. And
I love
Walking
that movie.
Dead, the first episode of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he got. Here, come on, Liar, Liar. Yes, I love him in Liar, Liar. Yes,
same.
I can't lie.
Okay, I'm gonna do this.
Here goes. I spat. I ran. I followed too closely. I ran a stop sign. I almost hit a Chevy. I spent some more. I failed to yield a stop sign. I changed lanes at the intersection. I changed lanes. I was running a red light, speeding.
Yay!
Yeah, that's insane, right? That's insane.
No. Here's one
the comedy. His comedy doesn't connect with me for whatever reason.
And that, I said this earlier before you even came in. The humor is subjective. So for some people it's going to hit, for other people it isn't. And right, Kitty, I'm glad you brought that up, because actually, if not next week, the week of Christmas, I'm actually going to do a watch along for the live action version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So, I've got that in the works. It's part of my Christmas stuff that I'm doing. I'm actually going to do watch along tomorrow night for Home Alone. Stop breaking the law, asshole.
You're not going to do a watch for the best Christmas movie ever, Die Hard?
I did that last year.
Okay. I tease, of course. Everyone knows the best Christmas movie is Batman Returns.
Yeah.
No, the best Christmas movie ever is, of course, A Christmas Story. Thank you very much. Or if not A Christmas Story, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I was thinking you were going to say that, and I won't debate you on that, because truth. I've honestly never been a huge Christmas person. Christmas movie person, but
My favorite scene from any of those National Lampoon's movies is when he cuts open the turkey.
Okay, I will show this. As I said in my little short, the ambassador loves Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Go ask him why. He'll tell you the reason. Snow globe Santa Snoopy. We got this a few years ago at a Cracker Barrel that me and the missus sometimes frequent. I love Christmas, guys. For those of you who don't know me that particularly well, I love the whole season. Let's see, Kirik. You're going to trigger Carl with the Die Hard Christmas talk.
Yes.
Carl, who's Carl?
Oh, it's
from Operation Hunger Force.
He was in the he's been in Max's Dreams.
Oh, that Carl. Well, I don't know and I don't care. Let's see, Ambassador plus panel. You talk about Santa Inc. No, Kira, I actually watch good stuff, not crap.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. That's a weird one.
And
everyone watches a bit of crap.
You're all wrong. The best Christmas movie is Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
I've seen that. I think I don't remember it that well.
For the sure.
The sad part is he's not talking about a movie. He's talking about a home video the guy made because he wanted to watch so he could see with the moment he got her inheritance.
For the sheer fact that you think you're on crack the entire movie and think you're listening the next day. Josh Bowen, no, you are not the only dork here. Oh, Christmas Vacation, Kira. Christmas Vacation was good. Christmas Vacation is epic. Christmas Vacation is iconic. It has one of the greatest rants in the history of all cinema.
Yeah, I will attest to that.
All right, I'm going to bring this up. I did this last year, but I'll do it again this year too.
You're gonna bring up the rant.
You can rant on here.
Well, no, Christmas Vacation rant.
He's gonna do it. I was gonna ask if I could, but no, he's gonna bring up the clip. Do it.
No, I'm going to do it. I am going to freaking do it, and yes, I will.
Yes.
Swear. I will swear, and I will give this its group. No, it's not that one. Where is it? Where are you? Here it is. No, I won't share it on screen, but that's not the one I want. What the hell? Oh, for the lead. Son of a bitch. All I want is the freaking quote.
May I, from memory, badly?
No.
If you can't find it, I mean.
Oh, I'm going to find it. Found it. I found it. Now if I can just get big enough. That's what she said. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, yours truly doing the Clark W. Griswold rant from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Hey, if you're looking for any last-minute gift ideas for me, I have one. I'd like Frank Shirley, my boss, right here tonight. I went and brought from his happy holiday slumber over there on Melody Lane with all the other rich people. I went and brought right here with a big ribbon on his head. I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the
Tylenol?
Thank you and good night.
That's my exact feelings on my foreman.
Oh.
Palpatine, do it. Aubrey Bride's coming here. Guys, in light of Cowboy Bebop bombing, thoughts on the Harold Kumar Christmas special? I'll check it out because I like Harold.
I love Harold Kumar. I love that trilogy.
Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, one of my all-time favorite dumb buddy comedies. I mean, I have a list. It's a short list, but I have a list.
All right, later. Yeah, I mean, I think the whole point of that movie was to go to White Castle. It took like 2 hours to get to White Castle. The movie's 2 hours. That's hilarious.
So what? The Big Lebowski's 2 hours of a dude trying to get his rug back.
Yeah. Big Lebowski is legendary too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what? I forget what's the second one with Barry Barney, what's the act? Neil Patrick Harris got killed, and he's back in the third movie. They're like, "Hey, I thought you were dead." Did you see the third one?
And Ferris, from Hawkeye to DC to Marvel debate to Star Wars Society to Christmas topics, are we going to an open topic of everything now?
Yes, and that's why we're now going to break it to Randian theory now.
Yeah.
Into what?
Randian theory. I'm just talking on my rear end.
Well, Ferris, here's the thing. This is just kind of how the progression of the night has gone. I mean, This is called R&D, reaction and discussion. We have reacted and we have discussed. So
yeah, are you what? Was he looking for structure?
my streams are very structured. Yes,
I tease.
It's true.
No, Ace, you're fine, man. You're fine. Well, Ace or Ferris, let me put it to you this way. At least with my streams, I can finish a coherent thought and move from one topic to another in a relatively fluid fashion, unlike a certain channel where it's nothing but madness, bedlam, and mayhem.
Hey, now you're getting personal.
I'm talking about you, Ace.
I know.
I think I know what you're talking about, Ambassador.
Yeah, Josh probably knows who I'm talking about. Aaron, you know who I'm talking about. Look, here at the Ambassadorial Wing, we do stick on topic, but we do occasionally go down the rabbit hole. So we've kind of gone down the rabbit hole tonight. Tomorrow afternoon, I will keep it structured. We will stick on topic in terms of Lord of the Rings and everything. We'll talk Two Towers and everything. And then tomorrow night, like I said, I'm going to do a watch party for Home Alone. I'm either going to just wing it and do it on Twitch myself. And it might be a little laggy, or I'll see if I can get a hold of a friend who can maybe hook me up and have a nice little setup for me. Either way, we'll be watching Home Alone tomorrow night. Or if y'all want to, bring your own copy and we'll just watch it together, and I'll just say, okay, start it now. Here's a great thing. Home Alone is currently on Disney Plus. If you have Disney Plus,
make sure it's the one with Macaulay Culkin, not that copy.
Yeah, Disney Plus did a recent one, and somehow you actually root for the burglars because they're not really burglars, and the kid is
they're good
anus.
guys. They're actually good people.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to get at. There's people that said Macaulay Culkin's character was an anus in the original. I think no, he wasn't. He was just misunderstood.
Yes. Kira, what do you guys
want for Macaulay Culkin? I mean,
well, Kira, to answer your question, and Josh, I will get to your question here in just a minute. I actually got, well, in terms of a material gift, I got what I wanted for Christmas already back a couple weeks ago. And I'll go ahead and share this. I might actually do a stream on this, or I might do a video of me building it. I actually found at a vintage toy store in my hometown a 98% complete in very good condition Death Star from the original Star Wars line.
Are you Lego? Is that what you're saying?
No, from the original 78 line, the Death Star Tower.
Dude.
And I only paid $270 for it.
Nice.
That's a steal, man.
Yeah.
So, and I do want to, Josh, I was going to address this. I did want to talk about this for a few minutes or anything. The casting for the Acolyte, the actress who's going to be playing, I'm assuming the Acolyte. Josh, honestly, here's the thing, and just to give you all a little full transparency on myself, I am not by any means, nor have I ever been, homophobic, transphobic, any type of phobic. And if the actress who is going to be playing the lead is non-binary, guess what? I don't care. The only thing that I am concerned with is her ability to act. Now, if she does a good job, I will base my opinion and my review on those merits, her performance. But as far as her own personal life, I don't care.
Same.
I legitimately do not care. All I want is a well-crafted story that is well acted and is entertaining. Aside from that, everything else is a wash. For all of you who have been subscribed to my channel, whether you've been here since the beginning or since you've just recently joined me, I'm not like the other YouTubers that you will come across on this platform. So, and I'll bring up Riot K's comment. Then I'll continue. I have only ever seen the actress in Hunger Games, and that was a long time ago. Yeah, Riot K.
She's not very well
the
known.
actress she played Rue. So, and face I have not seen in a little bit. Jason Lee Tucker. Jason Lee, is good to see you, man. Appreciate you popping in.
Or he is well known. Like, I don't know. It is what it is. If she's been cast, there's nothing you can do. Like, we don't know what the character she's play or she or what. I can't say. I guess I have to say non-binary because that's what it means, right? It's not you're not like a female or male, whatever, right? You're like.
No, she's female. She just, it's a whole thing, and I don't want. It's a discussion I don't particularly.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my tongue on that because I have a strong opinion. Like most, I will say is, as long as the actress doesn't, make a big deal of, oh, this is I'm the first non-binary actor to play a Star Wars character. Because just that comment will eclipse the show itself and the character, and everyone will make a big stink about it, or about we're having this person making a big deal about them being the first of this, and then there'll be the rebuttal of that. This is this type of phobic because you don't support this person. I think, like Ambassador said, if the story's good, character's good, I don't give a crap. Although I will say I don't want them to necessarily make the Sith character a non-binary because I know that would be a big talking point that would eclipse the quality.
What if it's a Sith character that's actually from a species that's because there are animals in real life that are both genders.
If it's an alien species that makes sense, but if it's a human, that's my point.
Yeah. Okay.
And Josh, and Josh, I know exactly what panel you're talking about because I did watch $3 Theater last night, or today actually, so I know exactly the group you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I know.
I
know.
As I was starting to say, my little mini rant, not angry rant, just rant. For those of you that know me, who have followed me, who follow me on social media, who have talked to me on a regular basis, both publicly and privately, I am not your atypical YouTuber. I don't do clickbait. I don't do drama. I don't do any of the things that a lot of other YouTubers do. Go ahead.
So he's not a Mike Zero.
No, I don't do a bunch of whack job fan theories and
that's what I'm saying. You're not Mike Zero.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying, Ace. But I'm also not going to go on a constant hate train of hating everything just because a particular actor or actress or director or writer or whatever has been put in charge or been assigned or been hired for a particular position or role. I'm going to base their work on what they do, not who they are. I generally do not try to judge a person on their character unless their character is absolutely shitty. And that's generally reserved for I'll just say it, the bottom feeders of YouTube.
Mm-hmm. And Twitter. Well, maybe not the bottom feeders of Twitter, just Twitter in general, because the majority of Twitter is a bottom feeder. You're an exception, Ambassador.
Well,
that's why I quit Twitter.
Well, the thing for me, the main reason I use Twitter, and pretty much the only reason I use Twitter anymore, is to post about my channel, to support other channels, or to check out stuff that I'm interested in. Anything else, I just ignore. I don't care. That's why the block feature is on Twitter. And yes, I have got some people blocked on Twitter because I simply don't want to hear what they have to say. Or I mute them because I don't want to hear what they have to say, because more often than not, what they have to say is the same obnoxious, negative, overbearing bullshit that everybody else says. I'm not here to get into a war. I'm not here to cause a bunch of drama. I am simply here to talk about, discuss pop culture, what it means to me, what it's meant to my life, and it's been, for the most part, a very positive experience and a very uplifting experience, and I hope what I've done here has some merit. I've been working on my fan fiction project for a year now. I'm going to be going on a little bit of a hiatus until we get our living situation sorted out and everything, because we are going to have to move because our landlord, or rather landlady, is getting out of the rental business and everything with sometime mid next year. So we are currently in the process of looking for a new place to live. So the fan fiction thing is going to have to go to the back burner for a little bit, but once we get things settled on the home front, then I'll get back into it. But I'm not here, I've had issues with other YouTubers in the past. I've generally either just let it go or I've settled it privately if I felt it was warranted. But I'm at a point in my life, and considering everything that's gone on in my life this past year, I am sick to death of all the bullshit drama. And over something as inconsequential and trivial as a damn movie, or a TV show, or a book, or a comic, or a streaming series, or a director, or an actress. It's all trivial. It's all nonsense. This is stuff that's supposed to be fun to talk about, not to cause a bunch of freaking stress. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to say this for what it is. These people that make this stuff from a mountain, from a molehill into a mountain, clearly have nothing else going on in their life right now, or have nothing going on in their life, period, that the only thing they know how to do is get in front of their cameras or on their computers and throw a conniption fit, and half the time it's not even authentic. It's fake. It's phony.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. I'm sure you're not going to out anyone in particular, but would you say, assuming you've seen his channel, would you say that includes someone like Professor Geek? Like he seems to be honest with his opinions, and like he does have a strict sort of thing of saying like, oh, like by giving into and saying like, oh, this is okay, seeing season of this Star Wars show on Disney Plus, you're giving in, and basically you're taking the bone that Disney's throwing at you. I don't always necessarily agree with him, but I do respect his perspective, because I do understand it.
I've never actually watched Professor Geek, to be honest with you, Josh, or John Ace. Sorry, I was looking at the chat at the same time. I was trying to talk to you. No offense. I've never actually watched that, so.
Fair enough.
So,
yeah, I don't think he's for everyone. I mean, I like him. I agree with a lot of what he says, but not everything. And I know I'm not going to offend him because I know because I don't know if he knows about your channel. I've probably shared your channel on Facebook or whatever and so forth. Yeah. But who knows? Who knows? He could. But blah 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 blah. I'm sorry, I'm rambling.
No, you're fine, man. And chat, everybody that's in the chat, right? Kitty, Kira, come on. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. Please don't think that I was. I saw your comments on here. I only got accounts blocked that are corporate to cut down on the ads. I can understand that, Riot.
That's actually pretty smart. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
I never blocked anyone on Twitter, actually. I've been blocked. Yeah, I've been blocked. Rob Liefeld blocked me on there, and I didn't even say nothing to him myself.
People fantasy search.
What?
And you're awesome, Ambassador. I'm sorry I didn't have you on my Tuesday show. I'll be honest, I don't want to risk our friendship over a show. Josh, if you want to have me on that show, you have me on that show. As I told you privately, I will tell you publicly here. I will be civil. I will be respectful. But know this, I am going there for you. That's the reason I'm going. If you want me on that show, I will be there, and I will be more than happy to talk about whatever you want to talk about with whomever else you want to have on that stream. I don't care. I will put my own personal feelings aside, and I will do that for you because I try to be there for my friends. I do my damnedest to be there for my friends. And Josh, I regard you as a friend. So, and right, Kitty, I don't know if you're still in the chair or not, but you have a good night, my dear. And as I often say, if you can't be careful, then don't get caught. So, yeah, and Kara, you're welcome. And
I just realized that. Hey, Josh, I just want to say, hey, I just realized who Josh was. I assume it's
Josh
the same
Bowen?
Josh I'm thinking of. Yeah, I assume it's the same one that.
I know it's Josh you're thinking of. No, this is Josh Bowen. It's a different Josh entirely.
Okay, I was thinking it was the Josh that I met. I met you through that one stream. That we did.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, back earlier.
Okay.
This year.
All right. Sorry, I mistook you for someone else, Josh. And not to shift gears, but you mentioned social media. I just want to let you know, Ambassador, I actually made a Facebook account. Yeah, so you can look if you have a Facebook, even if it's your personal. I won't share those details. Just look up my name as it shows. Ace Moick.
I have my personal, but I also have my alternate and everything. I can't.
That's fine
for YouTube and everything. I actually go under the name of my avatar, Thrawn Myth Wanderu. His full chest.
That's fine.
So I'll look you up and I'll send you a friend request.
Sweet.
No, and hey, Josh, that's fine, man. Truly. So, hey, Josh, if you want to talk privately, just DM me later on Twitter or whatever. You know how to get a hold of me. So, well, honestly, guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap up for the evening. But I'm gonna let you guys have any final thoughts on anything we've covered tonight, and then we'll call it an evening. So, floor is yours.
I'm trying to think of anything that I wanted to say earlier, even before I came on the stream. Like, I just want to mention, like I said, how Marvel has annoyed me in terms of the comics, but I still like a lot more characters from Marvel than DC. I just want to specify, like, as you mentioned Blue Beetle earlier, this is why I was partially asking, which Blue Beetle in particular did you reuse?
They're doing, is it Robbie Reyes?
Jaime Reyes?
Yeah. They're not doing Ted Cord. They're doing the other one.
It's kind of a shame because Ted Cord, I think I've been collecting the Len Wein run on Blue Beetle. I thought Ted Cord was a good Blue Beetle. I wouldn't expect them, to do the Dan Garrett era of Blue Beetle, but if they did kind of what DC did after they got the rights to the Charlton characters and did that version of Blue Beetle as Len Wein did, I think that would work out fine. Because, like I was saying, in terms of DC characters, I mean, obviously I said Batman, and I do like Supes, but like Blue Beetle and The Question, they've grown on me, especially when it was like Denny O'Neil's run on The Question. But I do like more Marvel characters like Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher, X-Men, etc., etc. I don't know why I had to bring that up. I'm feeling very ADD right now. ADHD, I mean.
Ace, you're fine, man.
Yeah.
Truly. You're good, man. So, Aaron, any final thoughts from you, my friend?
Okay, so I liked Hawkeye episode 4. It's a solid episode. It's more of a character development episode until really to the end. I thought episode 3 to me is the best one so far. And just remember, we got 2 more episodes left. So if you haven't seen the Hawkeye, I suggest you see it because 5 and 6, they're just about to pick up, because we just got now Florence Pugh's character, Lena Boliva, is involved, and now it's the stakes just got higher because Clint, more than Kate Bishop, has more targets on his back.
Fortunately, yeah.
Would you say, because I haven't watched Hawkeye, I frankly don't care about spoilers, but would you say like, not to say, oh, is it a better show? Would you say if you liked or did not like Falcon Winter Soldier that you would or would not like Hawkeye or anything?
It's very different. Like,
Okay.
Hawkeye is a different show compared to Falcon and Winter Soldier in a lot of ways. Honestly, Ace, I think you might enjoy it, but I often say this, and you know I do.
Mm-hmm.
Want my opinion? I will give it to you, but I say this ultimately: go check it out for yourself.
Yeah, I've been curious.
If you're curious about the series, then I would say at least test out your curiosity, see if it's for you. The episodes are roughly 30 minutes a piece, Aaron, give or take
30 to 40
minutes, give or take. So,
yeah.
You could probably, at least in a week, you could probably catch up. Or if you started like
definitely, yeah.
You could, if you started like Sunday to anything, or even tomorrow. Well, actually, yeah, tomorrow is Sunday.
There's only 4 episodes shown so far, so you'll be able to catch up easily.
So yeah,
okay.
And they're 40 minutes piece. You could catch up really easily, and I think if the first 2 episodes grab you, then you'll probably like it going forward. So
I've heard a lot of good stuff from this Facebook group I'm in called Cartoonist Kayfabers, and there was some talk about it. It was more so when it first came out because the intro takes a lot from a specific comic storyline from a few years ago, and there was talk about we guarantee that the person who did that storyline, the writer, the artist, was not getting royalties from the show, even though they're pretty much using the imagery they created for this Hawkeye show. And I think they're not far off, but it does have me curious about the show itself.
It's got some good stuff in it. It's a slower series compared to some of the others. It does have action. The action is solid. It's got, I will say this, if it has more of the feel of the earlier phases of the Marvel films in terms of the humor. It's not quite as out there as to what the later movies have done with their humor.
It's not post Guardians.
Yeah. At least that's how I would categorize it. I think honestly it's a little more down to earth in terms of its humor or anything. So, but again,
that's good.
Go check it out for yourself, and then
I definitely will.
Get a hold of me and everything. I'm still on Discord. I haven't left Discord or anything. I'm just not.
Yeah, I've seen you on there.
I'm just not terribly active because I don't have the time to always be super active on Discord. So.
Yeah, and the Discord that you and I are on, the Lucas Order one, it's kind of become a little bit, I wouldn't say a wasteland, but it's just kind of become a little mood for everyone, it seems. Yeah.
So
at least that's my observation.
Yeah. I've actually considered leaving this. This is nothing personal to anybody, to any of the Discords I'm in, but I've actually considered just kind of leaving a lot of them because I don't have the time to be active in them, and I've got so much so much else going on. It's not a personal thing; it's just a matter of what else have I got going on in my life right now.
Man, you can just adjust the notifications. That's what I did because I was getting bombarded with notifications from Anomaly Inc.'s Discord and Mr. Rogue's Discord and so on and so forth.
Yeah. If you leave notifications on Discord, it's the worst.
It's a nightmare. I know.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a Discord that's really, really going. So, anyhow. Well, guys and gals, thank you all for being here tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. As always, of course, leave your comments down below with anything myself and the panel had discussed over the last couple hours. And like I said, I will be back live tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Central Time, with part 2 of my Lord of the Rings review. We'll be doing, of course, the 2 Towers. And then I will also be going live tomorrow evening. I haven't set a time as of yet, but I will send that out on social media once I get it set up and everything. I'll be doing a watch along over on Twitch for Home Alone to continue my little celebration for our lead up to Christmas. So, anyways, folks, make sure you smash that like button and thank you all. Thanks again to all my new subscribers to the Ambassadorial Wing. I hope your time here is an enjoyable one. And if you have not subscribed to Aaron World Order or Ace Moix channels, or even, well, I don't think Zach has this channel, but Zach Leary does have an account on Twitter. Go follow him on Twitter. And, of course, follow myself and the rest of the panel on whatever social media we are on. But you all have a great evening. We will see you next time.
Peace out. And be sure to hit the bell for notifications.
That too. But until next time, folks, these are the ambassadors signing off.
See y'all.